So another warm welcome to you all, and a warm welcome to all the friends that join us online tonight. It is always, it's kind of at the beginning, it's always a strange sensation that it's possible that we can just connect way beyond this room to many people, and we don't even need to know who they are. Just in the same way, we don't need to know, forgive me, we don't need to know who you are from the personality side. Because we more and more know who we all are as one. That's why we're here, at least that's why I am here. And I think many of you too. So to create a bridge from our day-to-day life into the depths that we all fall already, we can share a little aurasoma. This is just for Satya. and for everybody else, of course. So I was tuning in, and somehow it seems we stay in the upper chakras these days. It may be very different next time. Today what came to me is the sapphire blue. Last time we had the royal blue, the third eye. And today the sapphire blue, which is connected to the throat chakra. And this is a kind of a very mysterious area of vibration or of consciousness, I would say. Consciousness can take any form. It's like water. You pour it in a cup, it has the form of cup. You pour it into the ocean, it's the infinite ocean. You pour it into a little vial, it takes the form of the vial. And that's what's happening with us. Oops. Welcome. You okay on the floor? Yes. We could get you a chair if you like.
Yeah, I know. He told me.
Okay. Anyway, welcome. So, where were we? The throat chakra, the sapphire blue. Now, what I find interesting in this whole play of form and formlessness is that we are both. And in the sapphire blue, in the throat, we carry all our beliefs. This is why when we carry a limiting belief, somehow we have the throat that feels closed, or we feel kind of suffocated. And usually we feel suffocated by our own thoughts. It appears like we get suffocated through outward experiences, through people that mistreat you, or through people that don't understand you, or through stressful situations. And in the moment, the whole world is in a very stressful situation and has a common projection virus I call it. We project our beliefs onto that virus, and we get afraid. And in reality, it's just a thought. There's some life form happening that appears to make some bodies sick. That has always happened. There were always, since centuries, there have been sicknesses. But what makes it so intense is that suddenly now it's the whole collective humanity in every country feels threatened. Can you imagine what that does with our throat? God, will I get sick? Will I survive? All the questions that arise not only for each one of us, but for everyone, almost everyone. And what we're missing here is that what makes it so bad is our thoughts, our beliefs, whatever belief is there. And I'm not saying belief is wrong, it is just a human limited expression of consciousness. Now, when we go out with our beliefs, we looked at this last time when we did the third eye chakra. When we go out with our beliefs, we identify, we create a sense of self. And there's many ways to identify. The easiest and the most effective way to identify is to resist what is. Then I know I am. Like there's something happening and I can resist it, so whatever I resist persists. Are you familiar with that inside of you? Any feeling you resist gets stronger. Any emotion you resist gets stronger. Anything you fight fights back. Why do we do that? It seems to be completely idiotic. But why do we do it? Because it gives us a sense of self that we then have to protect. And we all know that we cannot protect it because it keeps changing. Whoever we thought we are keeps changing. And eventually, if we thought or if we believed we are the body, eventually we have a use-by date where it's finished. So this whole identity thing that we looked at last week is the source of all fear. Now, when we turn around and go within, then what happens in the throat is we are opening to another aspect of the infinite blue sky, of emptiness, of vastness, of infinity, of source. This is why the throat chakra, in a way, in some teachings, is related to the first recognition of the truth of who we are, which is not the body, not the mind, not our thoughts, not our feelings, not anything we can experience, are that which is aware of all experience. I'm sure you have heard me say this hundreds of times. I think we cannot say it often enough, because we forget it very quickly the moment we go out. And when we go in, we have to meet behind all forms and thought forms and belief forms and story forms and expression forms. We have to meet something that doesn't have a form anymore. And in the throat chakra, if you actually physically go in, you will find an empty pipe. through which we breathe. So even physically, the center of the throat is empty. Now, not only the center of the throat, the center of every chakra, if you like that model. It's only a model, it's not the truth. But the center of every chakra, when we go in, will reveal emptiness, nothingness, space, source. Anybody had this as an experience, not just as a concept, that when you go in, there comes a point where you are not anymore. There's just nothingness. Yeah. And it's not an explosive firework of awakening. It is no thing, which is actually awakening. But this nothingness then, and in the throat very clearly, and in any other chakra also, is the source for the creative manifestation in form. We see this when you go outside and look at nature. Everything that we see here appeared out of emptiness. If you like the Big Bang, if you go really back to the beginning of the universe, there was nothing. I'm not sure, I wasn't there, but I feel this is more true. No? So out of no thing, and in the throat is not knowing, arises everything that we can create. So it's our creative center. No? So the very creative people have become very expressive in their gifts. And when these gifts have not been kidnapped by the ego, look how good I am, they become the most incredible artists, dancers, teachers. If you, for those of us who have been sitting with Osho, you remember, we sit there and wisdom pours out, and it feels like it's Osho speaking, but Osho is not even there. It's a total empty channel of the universe. Why does it touch, or why has it touched me so much? Because it resonates with who we already are. So there's this deep recognition. Oh, wow, yeah, right. I knew this, but nobody talked about it. Can you relate to that? When you hear words of wisdom, sometimes it just hits you. It just kind of, that's me speaking. And I just could not put it into words. And then, of course, me and you disappears because it's just one wisdom expressing itself. Can you relate to that? Now, when we are in that zone, and I'm sure everyone here has experienced this zone more or less, there is something amazing happening. First of all, we are happy for no reason. We're just happy in watching the creation being created through ourselves. Second piece is we feel grateful for no reason. I mean, grateful for what? Maybe just for existing. Maybe it doesn't need a reason. There's gratitude coming. There's joy coming. There's silence coming. There's peace coming. And when you hear these attributes, perhaps you discover that it doesn't matter through which human expression you enter your being. At the very core, and I would say after emptiness, even though it's not linear, or beyond emptiness is the expression of our true being, which doesn't have a form, it doesn't have a color, it doesn't have attributes, objective attributes, but it's very, very clear that I am. Can you relate to that? Is that too theoretical? If you relate to that, do like this. If you don't, do like that. I need to kind of see where we are at. Or if you're Indian, then yes, Baba, it's okay. No? So the expression in each chakra, my God, you know, I'm just realized when I share this with you. In the moment, I'm very involved in creating an online training for conscious living with short videos of 6 to 10 minutes. And today I finished the number 46. So 46 videos, and I talked about this, and I could just continue, you know. So if it's a little bit of a teaching mode, forgive me, it's just a continuation of the day. But hopefully we will drop through the teaching into the experiencing in a moment. No? So just to finish that sentence, the expression of source through each chakra has a different fragrance, a different quality. And the expression through the throat is communication, is creation. From here we create everything that we want in life. But it's not we create, it's existence itself, it's the source itself that uses this body-mind to create. And this creation, or this manifestation in form out of the formless, is an energy field. And the energy field within the throat can, for those of you who are a little bit psychic and see colors, can be the sapphire blue. It's a certain fragrance, it's a certain field that is incredibly agreeable to sit in, because it's infinite. It has no boundaries. And when we look inside and we realize the self, the true I am, also is infinite and has no boundaries, so suddenly we dip into this ocean of presence, of creative presence, not of dull nothingness. Shall we try this? So, for those of you who are listening online or being with me online, we're going to guide everyone here into a little ritual where you get 3 drops onto your left palm, and then I'm going to guide you. So you can imagine a sapphire blue essence that is received on your palms, and you can just follow the instructions for those of you who are online. Okay? So if you could all stand up and make your left the magic portion. So when you receive it, rub it into your hands and close your eyes. And let the vibration in your hands attune you to the vibration of your throat. It's like a tuning fork. For me, Aurasoma is like a beautiful tuning fork for a climate.
Right, of course.
your arms high above the head, you can close your eyes. Imagine that you're sending this sapphire blue ray of light all around the planet. Out of your left hand, around the earth, back into the right hand. So that it's like a ray of awakening, touching all beings, with the intention that all beings may find who they truly are, may wake up to the truth of themselves. And then you can bring your palms above the crown, facing downwards, and imagine we're standing under a shower of sapphire blue light that falls through our aura like gentle rain. And then, as you come closer to the energy field around your head, you can clear and clean your aura. Clearing the temples, the back of the head, the frontal area. And then bringing your palms together above the crown, the symbolic gesture of oneness where the opposites meet as complementaries. And then with your palms together, moving through your third eye, through your face, and opening your palms at the throat. And here you can imagine that with the tips of your fingers, you can gently open the curtains of all your thought forms, of all your beliefs, revealing the open, empty sky. It's like clearing the throats of all clutters. And then you can clear your shoulders and arms, bringing that sapphire blue vibration into your aura around your shoulders. And then clearing the frontal area in front of your heart. Here, in unconsciousness, we carry all our shoulds and all our ideals. So gently allow the blue sky to penetrate these clouds of shoulds and should nots. And then you can allow your hands to rest over your heart, absorbing that sapphire blue ray deep in the silence of the heart. And perhaps you can feel how your heart responds to the spaciousness of the sapphire blue. We can breathe again, deep breath. And then we can move with the palms to the solar plexus. Here, releasing all the tensions that we are holding in the need to separate. All these strategies of separation you can wipe to the side. Comparison, competition, judgments, blame, unworthiness, superiority, inferiority, and so on. The list is endless. Let the armor open so we can reconnect with our true power, with the joy of being an individual. And then moving down to the second chakra, to the lower belly, and here allowing space of the sapphire blue to gently hold any emotion, also any hurt, any trauma, also holding what we call the inner child, our vulnerability, our tenderness. And further down to the root center, space to this beautiful form, to this body, space to our vital energy and our sexual energy. And then along the legs, all the way down until you touch Mother Earth. And this is a good moment to let go whatever you're ready to let go of, and I would suggest let go of everything that you know. And offering to the earth that it may recycle what we have to offer and turn it into fertile soil. And then as you come up, allow that sapphire blue ray of light rise inside your body, just filling you from the feet all the way up. So for a moment you're just a body of light. And then bringing your palms in front of your nostrils, cupping your palms and taking 3 deep breaths of this fragrance into the temple of the body. Very good. And then you can sit. So today I want to dedicate the light of the candle to not knowing. That's also a function of the throat. From moving from knowing, anything we know is already past, so it's unreal. Anything you know is the past, and it's not real anymore. Take a breath. Take that in for a moment. It's like cutting our head. That opens the space for not knowing, and out of not knowing, all true response arises, all clear expression arises, all creativity arises. So let's drop into this a little bit. We're going to have a guided meditation, and after the guidance we will sit for a while. We will see, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes. So you can close your eyes, and I don't know, maybe I will play a little bit of flute in between, just to kind of find the contrast to silence, and when the flute is silent again, we drop even deeper into the spaciousness of just silence. So for now, just for a moment, bring your attention to your body, how your body is sitting here. Feel your body. Feel all these subtle sensations without trying to change anything. Just allowing the body to be what it is. body is always here now. That which is aware of the body is also here now. So in this way we can use all the senses that normally pull us outward with our energy, that pulls us out into the world. We can allow every sense to be a doorway inside to the empty source. So when we hear the music, rather than going out towards the sounds where they come from, allow the sounds to be received in your heart. And here when I say in your heart, in the space that you are. And you will notice that you're actually receiving the sounds into silence. We're receiving the body sensations into stillness. And the deeper we let ourselves be guided in that inward movement, the more our habitual sense of self begins to dissolve. So we can naturally melt deeper than thoughts. And the thoughts don't need to change. They can be there as clouds in the empty sky. And we can melt deeper than our feelings. So we leave all these experiences on the periphery. It's almost, if you like, we can say we leave them outside the door. And we melt deeper than the body sensations. So also every sense of the body can continue, but we can leave it on the periphery. And deeper than the breath. Normally we say, I am breathing. But when we move deeper than the breath continues. So, who is breathing? And deeper than the heartbeat. Obviously, all these experiences are happening in whom, in what? They are happening in the true I am, in that spacious consciousness that doesn't have a name. We can very gently ask ourselves here, who or what am I deeper than all experiences? And there's no answer, and yet I am. It's such a mystery. Rest here for a while. Well, each out-breath takes us even deeper into this unknown mystery of I am. We will sit for about 20 minutes. And whatever arises, don't push it away. Let it arise. Let it be there. Let it pass or disappear, if it wants to disappear. Because everything that arises is not you. It is arising in you. It is residing for a while in you. And it goes. This was one of Ramana's most important utterings. Rest as that which does not come and go. Feel this peace. This is who we are. It is not created, it is revealed deeper than all experiences. Feel the silence. Feel into this spaciousness here. This is our true being behind all events. This is what we find in the courage to move beyond everything we know. It's like a remembering of our eternity. And nothing of this needs to be achieved, it's already here as who we are. Let that look into the world and it will see itself in every form and in every formless. Drink this nectar, it's our nature, it's always here, sometimes hidden under different clouds of identity. In a moment when we when we rise back into the body awareness and into form, bring with you that quality that mind cannot define, yet it's so real. As we take a deeper breath, gently becoming aware of the body again, and yet allow the attention to stay on awareness. Maybe moving the body a little bit, giving it a little stretch, until you feel ready to open your eyes to a completely new moment here. Take a moment to let infinity use your eyes, just looking from that spaciousness rather than from the little me that tries to figure things out. This is where true healing is possible, because nothing is resisted, nothing is interpreted, nothing is labeled, nothing is touched by mind. Now we could sit like this for the rest of the evening, but perhaps there are some discoveries or something that you would like to share or ask. And this is also for the friends online. Our friend Steve is here. If you have any question or comment, you can write it and Steve will tell us, so we can respond. We can let it become a dialogue if you want. And for the friends here in the physical form, there's a place here for you if you want to say something. I know it's a little tricky, you know? We guide ourselves into the depths of silence and then there is nothing to say. Now I feel a little embarrassed because we have a flute master here. So forgive me.
You can play while you talk.
No, either or. Either talk or flute. Okay, a few sounds. If I get them out here. Music can take us so deep into silence. But also thoughts can take us deep into silence when we go behind thoughts, when we go behind beliefs, behind what we know, behind the form. And it's not far away, isn't it? We are soaking in it here. Many of our lives are actually a cover-up, covering up who we truly are and denying it more or less. And for me, satsang is just an uncovering. It's not, we're not going anywhere. We're just, here it is. Here I am, in every one of you. Now it may feel selfish to bathe in this grace here, but my feeling is it's the only way for this planet to heal also. Imagine more and more people don't follow the survival mode of stress. But uncover that which we already are. And then suddenly it's not only, 15 people, it's maybe around the world in the moment, just with this little online thing, maybe 400 to 600. And then maybe more, and maybe more. So our own transformation is the transformation of the world. It's not personal anymore. Last time I played you a little quote from Osho. It's not a quote actually, it's one of these happenings when Osho was guiding us into the depths of our being at the time, many of us felt it's so beautiful when he, after a long discourse, he had these terrible jokes. And then after the jokes, we did 5 minutes of intense gibberish. Imagine like 3,000 people doing gibberish in Buddha Hall. It's like a storm of mind, of thoughts. And then he asked Nivedanu to beat the drum, and then he was guiding us into silence. And I found another recording of that. Would you like to follow that? It's very beautiful. He basically, at the time when he did it, we, at least I think many of us, didn't recognize that this is it. There is nothing more. There is nothing beyond that. There is what we were searching as enlightenment didn't appear in the way that our mind was thinking how it should look, like the big firework. It was what Osho was guiding us towards. Shall we hear it? Yeah. Now, don't hear it just through your mind. Let it guide you. You know, it's 30 years or more later, but it's as relevant or even more relevant today. Let it guide you into that what we are sharing here right now, which is not personal anymore. Osho calls it the Buddha or the witness. Some people call it God. Some people call it consciousness. It doesn't matter what we call it because it doesn't have a name. So he starts after the first drum beat. And then then he says, to make it deeper, Nivedano, boom, another drum beat. And then the whole crowd of 3,000 people was dropping back into the lap of somebody else behind because Buddha Hall was full. So totally letting go. Now the letting go, you can do that internally. Letting go everything that you know, that you believe, that you think, that you feel, that you experience, because you are not your experience. We don't need to change the experience. You can have it back when you go home now. But in that moment of dropping, really drop it. See what's left when everything you know is dropped, and you will find I'm still here. As what? Okay? Okay, here we go.
Close your eyes. Feel the body absolutely frozen. Gather your consciousness inward. This is what is meant by turning the heart from outside to inside. Look deeply. Find out your roots. This silence is the miracle that you are carrying within yourself. Deeper and deeper and deeper. Without any fear, it is your own sky. Open your wings and fly to any heights you want. There is no obstruction anywhere, just the courage is needed. Blessed is this evening. 10,000 people are entering into a deep silence, into nothingness. Precious are these moments. Feel the splendor and the beauty of silence. Nivedana, let go, die completely and totally. This is just to make clear that within you is a consciousness that can never die. A consciousness which is connected with the cosmos. It is eternal. It has no personality, no individuality. It is sheer joy not to be. When you come back, bring this joy and this fresh laughter, these fresh roses and their fragrance with you. Slowly, slowly they will become your very breathing. Unless meditation becomes a natural, spontaneous phenomenon, you have not touched even the periphery of meditation. Deeper and deeper. Die to the past, die to the future. Only this moment become just like an arrow going to the very depths. Nivedana, come back. Sit down like Buddhas in deep silence, in great joy.
Yes. Thank you, beloved Buddhas. Isn't it amazing? No? It's just like, it's so relevant and so clear. And how many years did it take us to understand this? And it doesn't need even an instant to realize this. And then the joy or the challenge is to take it into your day-to-day living. And we're already taking it into day-to-day living. We just believe in the person. And as Osho says so beautifully, there is no personality as our true nature. And it looks so dangerous for the ego to drop the person. But it's anyway not real. Now that may be challenging for some of our minds, and I just had an idea, since you don't want to talk to me. I had an idea. I mean, this is more also for the friends online. If Steve is okay, that if anybody has a question, they write it to you, and you bring it for the next satsang. Yeah. Because when we are hanging out in this infinity of who we truly are, all questions disappear, all problems disappear. Now you don't need to get those problems back when you go out. You can keep them wherever they are. But if they follow you, then sometimes it's good to kind of have a little bit of a direct. In German, we say Wegbegleiter. How do you say that in English? Like a companion, a guide, to take you by the hand and say, "It's okay. It's okay. Oh, you're totally freaked out. You're totally in your trauma, and you have done the 20th trauma therapy healing, and I'm still traumatized. And maybe we can take that person by the hand and help them to see that which sees the trauma has never been traumatized." For example.
Where do they post the question?
Where? Is it okay if you give them your email?
Yep.
He's such a good guy. No, he just says yes. Thank you, Steve. No. So, on Monday, beautiful Pavita has a meeting here in this place, and there's a flyer there, Space with Pavita. Open space. Open space with Pavita. I think it's so good to find different ways to remember what we have always been. Because that's the only sin, we forget. And the more we can remember. And now there's also a lot of online satsangs and teachings. And some of those teachings maybe touch you. Listen to it while you drive. Or it's because you notice it's a field that we tap so easily into as a group of people. It's easier. As a sangha, it's kind of, we go into the warm ocean. Right, how come I forgot this? So it's almost like our daily dose of nothingness. It's the best pill to take. No? And then, next Friday, again, Satsang. And if you like to listen to Osho on Sunday mornings, there's a Satsang in the hall at 9 o'clock and at 11 o'clock. There's always an hour of meditation and some short discourse from Osho. And Shahido does it very beautiful.
This week only 9 o'clock.
This week only 9 o'clock. Thank you. No.
Is there only two?
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been 2 because of the social distancing. But when there's a course happening, then it's only 9 o'clock. No? Isn't it nice? It's getting warmer, so you can have a cup of tea outside without freezing, if you like, before you go home. And thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you again. Now today we have full house, so I wonder from the practical side, it may be good if you just announce yourself. If you know, I mean, some of you, since we are in Byron Bay, some of you know only the last minute whether you come or not. But if you know that you're coming, so that we can kind of, so far it always worked out, no? But if the pull to, if the pull is stronger and stronger, maybe we need to eventually move to the hall, but so far not. I really like it here. No? So have a beautiful evening, and thank you for being with us also online. And Steve is giving you his email address, so if there's any questions, I cannot guarantee that we take all questions, but at least when I get a question, I know something comes out of my mouth. Otherwise we just sit in silence, which is also beautiful, actually more beautiful. Thank you. Namaste.